Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. So Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales is the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie. The years have gone by in the Pirates of the Caribbean universe as well as our actual world. In Dead Men Tell No Tales, Captain Jack Sparrow has ultimately passed his prime, which is sad to see, but it's worked into the story. But this ghost named Salazar, who he outsmarted many years ago, back when he was super young, like CGI Jack Sparrow face young, is coming after him because Jack Sparrow got him killed and cursed. Meanwhile, this other dude is looking for the Trident of Poseidon for his own means and motivations. It all leads to Jack Sparrow in a very convoluted Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I mean, let's face it, the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, that was one of my favorite movies that summer. It was a lot of fun. Jack Sparrow was the man. And in my opinion, no Pirates of the Caribbean movie has actually been as good as the first one. I just think we're kind of over it at this point. But what I liked in this movie was Salazar. They have a good villain. When he's on screen, he's great. He's super intimidating. He's menacing. That teaser trailer, he had kind of floating face syndrome. I was like, is this supposed to look like that, or is that just bad CGI? It looks like they have sharpened it up. Ultimately, everything about him is moving like he's still underwater because that's where he died and got cursed. It's a really neat visual to his character. Javier Bardem is a great actor. He's exaggerated.
Tell Jack Sparrow, death is coming for him.
I'm like, if you weren't cursed, you'd have busted a blood vessel just squeaking that word out. My favorite part of the movie was the backstory that it showed in the trailer where young Jack Sparrow outsmarts Salazar, gets him dead and cursed. That was a sweet scene, but ultimately you see it in the trailer. And it does that transgression that movies do where it's like, oh, backstory? Here's how Jack Sparrow got all of his clothes. I don't give a fuck where he got his clothes. And like I said, it's a pretty convoluted, messy movie. This movie has a bunch of branches and side quests in it. You know, I was like, oh, we have to have Barbossa in it. Here you go. There's this weird witch lady. Who's she? Who knows? There's this other lady who's an astronomer who people think she's a witch, but she's not a witch, but there's actually a witch. Government dudes are hunting them, doesn't matter. Like, there's this wedding scene in the movie. It's just like, why is this happening? It was actually the scene in the movie where I'm like, you need to just stop this joke, pull it out of the movie. The movie will be no different whatsoever. You want people to meet up? They can meet up elsewhere. What's happening? Any scene in a Pirates movie that makes me just roll my eyes, it's a bad sign. And per Pirates of the Caribbean lore that you have learned from the other movies, some of the backstory elements in here, it doesn't actually line up and make sense. And I do stress that Captain Jack Sparrow, the character at this point in his life, is not the Jack Sparrow we love for the reasons we loved him. At least not me anyway. In the first movie, Captain Jack Sparrow was clever. He was witty. Yeah, he looked kind of like a weirdo drunk. He carried himself like that anyway, but in the end, when he pulled something off and he's sailing away, someone could just stop in awe and be like, that's gotta be the greatest pirate I've ever seen. It happened in the first movie, justifiably so. Like that scene where he had Elizabeth Turner, this will be the day you will always remember, is the day you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow, tosses her, takes the rope, goes up, wraps the rope around something, he's flying around, and you're like, what? This guy is straight up escaping masterclass style. This guy is not the idiot we thought he was. Now when Jack Sparrow pulls something off in this movie, it's almost by mistake. Like he's a big idiot getting dragged by a rope, and if he pulls it off, it happens by accident, he's ultimately a buffoon. It's a bummer. They concentrate so much on the comedic slapstick of Captain Jack Sparrow that they leave his wit behind. And in the end, he was always, if he wasn't the smartest guy in the room, he was the most clever. Guys, in the end, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales is a Pirates of the Caribbean sequel that came out a few years after anyone really cares. Came out a few years past its prime. It tries its best to tie it in with the Pirates of the Caribbean story, and in some points it does its job well enough, but in its execution, it's messy, it's sloppy. I'm kind of over the Captain Jack Sparrow thing as they're making him. However, when I watch Pirates 1, he's still great, which means there's something they hit in that movie that they're not hitting anymore. It has some entertaining action sequences out to sea, it really does, but also a lot of these scenes when they're on the deck of a ship, you can tell is green screen, and in the first movie, a lot of it was actually outside. Hate to keep comparing it to the first movie, but I think it is applicable to compare a Pirates movie to a Pirates movie of the same franchise. I can't deny I was entertained in some of the action sequences though. In particular is this guillotine scene. I always called it guillotine, but then other people call it guillotine. For the sake of possible illiteracy, I'm gonna keep calling it guillotine. It was actually pretty intense. You're like, oh, I will say Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales is probably a better time with a nice bottle of rum.
And now it's a party to be sure. Drinks all around.
Alright guys, so Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? And what's the order of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies that you like and or love? Whatever they are, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.